Oh, wait, there's little shinies. And, I hate taking those thumbnail things. Oh, I wanted to show you this. I'll tell you about it in a second, actually. Okay, so I have basically 3 things to talk about. The first is, yay for B12. I have been really struggling for a month now, and I just thought I was triggered about something. And yeah, there was some triggered stuff happening, but I was just like, I'm just so tired. And as the month went, I got tired and more sleep normal. And so I was getting pretty concerned about it and wondering what was going on. And then I got reminded to take my B12s, and I was like, oh yeah, these are all the symptoms that I get when I'm struggling with my B12. I'm pretty positive, not officially diagnosed, but pretty positive I have pernicious anemia, which is an autoimmune disease kind of thing. Basically means that my body is not even absorbing any of the B12 that I take in. And I'm not a vegetarian because I can't stand beans, and I'm just like, I'm like, I don't want to eat quinoa every day in order to get all my proteins. So I'm kind of like, what do I do? So I haven't gone vegetarian. And so I'm actually eating meat, which has B12 in it. So you'd think that I wouldn't have a problem, but when you have this autoimmune thing, then it causes it. So it doesn't absorb. Somebody's watching. I love it when the little people thing gets numbers by it. Okay, so super excited about taking my B12 because all of a sudden, like, I got up. Good morning, Drew. I just added you to my Facebook group this morning. I guess I should say I just approved your request this morning, which is the same as an ad, right? So, what? Okay, so some of the symptoms and stuff are being resolved, and I actually got up and did my morning routine this morning. I was so excited about that. I was like, oh my gosh, I got up this morning, and I'm not feeling nearly as tired as I have been for the last month. Whew, now maybe I can get somewhere in life again. The other thing that I was going to tell you about is my vision board. I've been kind of stressed about it. We rearranged my room, and that actually caused more stress. I felt even more disconnected from my vision board. And as I was asking kind of what to do about it, the thought came that I needed to do some rearranging of the board, take down the poster board, and just use what I was using as a dream board as my vision board. And so I did that last night, and I got so emotional. It's like, dang. But it wasn't like the sadness of letting something go. It was it was kind of like my spirit was saying, yes, you're listening to us. Thank you. That's how I felt with the tears. So one of the things that I did, I'm going to show you this. This is kind of separate from my vision board. But this right here, this is my vision board is made up of a panel of 9 of these little poster boards that have glitter on the outside. There's blue, silver, gold, this hot pink color, and green. I really don't like hot pink. I love pink, but not hot pink. Anyway, so this is my my special place for how many subscribers that I am currently manifesting. So I'm currently manifesting 111 YouTube subscribers on my daily channel, and I'm really curious how many I have now. I was really excited when I looked the other day and I was at 61, and every once in a while it goes down, it goes up and down, and I don't usually get sad when it goes down because I just figure you're not aligned with my message, and that's okay. But I was getting a little frustrated that I would go from, that's good about me. Okay, 57 to 58 to 59, and then I'd go back down. It says 63 subscribers. That is so much fun. I love it. I was just super excited to pass that. It was like I had this barrier. I was stuck at 60, and I was like, no, I want to get up to 60. Come on, let me get past 60. And so I was really excited about that. So yay for subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. It's so much fun to have subscribers, and it's so much fun to have people on and watching me live and everything. I'm going to move that back. So that's cool that you guys can see now. Like, it's in the little corner there. That's my special YouTube spot. So right now my vision board is empty because I just moved everything last night. And what I wanted to talk about before I go into my miracle is intuitively doing things with your vision board. So originally these posters I had in landscape view, and they didn't even fit. They like went around the corner, and intuitively I felt like I needed to turn them to the portrait view and hang them up all side by side. So now they're in a 3x3 grid on the one wall. And so that was the first intuitive thing that I changed. I also just randomly, intuitively picked whichever color felt right where it went. And if I feel like the colors are in the wrong place, I give myself permission to move them around. I think that's important when you're working intuitively with your vision board, is giving yourself permission to move things around. I may not leave this here because I think it's distracting me. So I may move it across over there so I can see it while I'm YouTubing. We'll see. So one of the things that I've talked about before in vision boards is that you need to intuitively ask yourself where things go, but I didn't even go to the extreme that you can. And this was a message in that class that I took a week and a half ago now. Oh my gosh, it's me. Like time was going there for a while, but time goes at whatever speed I perceive it to be at. He talked about, like, they give you kind of a grid, like I've shared in the past, kind of a grid of where to put it according to your left brain and your right brain. And it's kind of almost even a feng shui map to a degree, and this way of using things. But the truth is that it's really important that you intuitively do it. So what I'm doing is I'm going to, and if you can only manifest 1 or 2 or 3, and you don't want to focus on 9, that's okay. Pick 1, 2, 3. I still have my thing. I actually have 9 things that I'm going to be hanging up. But if I only had 1 or 2 or 3, then I would intuitively still do the process I'm going to tell you about. And I'd have the 9 sections up there, but intuitively put them in different spots. So what you do is you get all your pictures and things ready that you want to hang up on there, and you lay them out on a flat surface like on your bed, and you just kind of feel, and you're like, okay, this one needs to go here, this one needs to go here, until you arrange them in the grid. So if you only had 3, maybe you'd have 1 in the bottom, 1 over here in the middle, and the other up here. Or maybe you have them in an angle, or maybe you have them all across here. Intuitively choose. So you pick, you just kind of do it until it feels right, and you just won't be happy with it until it just kind of goes just right, and then all of a sudden you feel better. Now, if you can't do that, that's okay. You can do any other method. As far as I'm concerned, you could probably just put them up wherever and be okay with it. But if you can get it aligned with an intuitive way, then you get more power to it. And the other thing is when you hang it up, so now you've figured out where they go. If you hang it up and maybe a day or 2 later, you feel like it just needs to be moved a little bit. Maybe it needs to move down an inch. Move it, because for whatever reason, it will feel better to you. And when you get those feeling, when it starts to feel better and starts to gel, then you're eliminating that resistance, because every time you look at it, instead of just focusing on the stuff to create it, you're also now focusing on this little, like, it's not in the right place. It's not in the right place. You'll have this little voice inside of your head doing that too. So move it down a little bit, move it over to the side a little bit, move it up a little bit, whatever feels right. Feel free to move that. And if you're looking at it and one day you feel like it needs to even move spaces completely, do that too. It's really important that you learn to follow your intuition that way. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about, vision boards, just because that kind of came up for me. And I will be finishing my things and hanging them up today. So I have my 9 things, and then I have my special YouTube spot. Because I just feel right in doing that. It feels right for me. Like I said, I don't think that's the right space for it. Maybe I'll just move it over. No, I think I'm going to move it. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Not while I'm talking to you guys. Okay, so my miracle. This was not on a dream board. I did not script it. I have prayed about it a lot. And I did some healing things with it a lot. So there's a lot of backstory with this. My neighbors, I live in a duplex. And so our neighbors are literally on the other side of the wall. And oh my goodness, they have been an adventure. That's the word I'll use for it. They have been an adventure. It has been really, really hard to have these neighbors, because just the way that they interact with people, the way they've interacted with us, it's been a challenge. It's been an adventure. And it has gotten pretty bad. I've never in my experience had neighbors that have triggered me and my family to the degree that these guys have. That's how crazy it has been. So last, I don't know, maybe January or February, I learned about a new healing technique. I don't have a clue who created it. I could look it up if I wanted to. I kind of skimmed through the book. I read enough that I felt satisfied in knowing what I needed to know for it. And then worked with my own, like kind of merged some things together to create this. And what you do is you send these people to this Court of Atonement. I think if you look up Court of Atonement, you might even find the book. I don't know. And basically what you are doing is you are inviting the person that you're having issue with, or the persons, if there's more than one, the people you're having issue with, and yourself, to go to a Court of Atonement. You invite their souls, you invite their guardian angels, anybody that you feel like needs to be a mediator. For me, I always bring in the Savior, Jesus Christ, because he is who I consider to be the great mediator. But if that doesn't work for you, bring in somebody to be the mediator, or in some cases, the judge, who can help review this. And they go up into this Court of Atonement, and the souls get to just say whatever. I don't even witness it. Some people witness that, and I just send it all there. I'm just like, okay, I'm sending this to the Court of Atonement. Take care of it. Heal it across all time, space, dimensions, realities, and generations. I especially ask that if there is anything that I need to know, or I need to do, or I need to change, that I become aware of it and that I receive that. Because I think that's really important, because sometimes we send a problem to be healed like this. If you do this kind of work, sometimes you'll send it because you think that the other person has a problem. But a lot of times we have a problem in it, or we have a role in it. So I want to be accountable for my role in it as well as their role in it. Now, sometimes when you send somebody to this court, changes happen like that. Other times it takes months, and this one has taken months. And I really wasn't even sure how well it was working. I knew it worked with some of the things with my kids. I only send things that I just really seriously cannot resolve on my own. I'll send it to this court, and so that the souls can work it out on a soul level, and then hopefully it comes and manifests in a physical level. Okay, so that's what I did. So I was sending them to Court of Atonement. I was sending them about specific incidences, about behavior that was happening between us, all kinds of things. And the first change I noticed was the youngest person in the family. There's actually 3 generations. There's a son, a daughter, there's a father, his daughter, and his grandson. And his grandson is a day older than my son. And so they're 13. And the first thing I noticed is that he was responding almost instantly. Like within a week, he was coming and asking if he and Zach could still be friends and like trying to clear the air between us. And I was like, of course we can be friends. Like, I seriously don't even know why your family hates us. So of course you can be my friend and you can play with the kids, and I have no harsh feelings. Things were a little weird. Things were really crazy in December, scary crazy. But I'm like, of course. So that was the first indication. And then about a month ago, my mom's like, the neighbor is being especially nice. And she was a little weirded out by it. And inside I was just going, yes, it's working. It's working. Things are trickling in. It's coming in. Things are changing. Then last week, actually a week ago today, it was on a Monday, I decided I wanted to do some cleaning up in the yard, but I could not get into the shed at the time because my mom had the key. And so I was like, well, what can I do to help clean up the yard? Because I really wanted to be out working in the yard. And so we have this fence between us. It's a chain link fence, and it collects leaves and garbage and junk there. And so I started cleaning up my side, and I was cleaning it up, but I also knew that as I was cleaning it up, it pushed things onto their side. And so I had gone around and I was sweeping up on their side to try and help clean that fence area up when he came home from work. So he saw me on his side cleaning up the fence line. And I think that was the final thing that flipped the experience. Because he cleaned that up. We didn't say anything to each other. Like, he went out of his house. I continued working. Oh, Drew says it looks like I'll be downloading you again today. That sounds so funny. You're going to download me. I kind of figured that you would, I kind of just assumed that when you come on that you're probably going to be lag and that you're probably going to download me. I'm just aware of your situation. So that's cool. So Drew's going to download me. That sounds exciting. Sorry. Okay, so what happened then is I have this old-fashioned push mower. It's the kind that there's no motor, no electricity, and it has like the bar things around that flip around as you push it. I mean, we had one when I was really little. And they were on their way out in the early, well, no, that would have been the 70s. In the 70s, they were on their way out. So this was like a really old push mower thingy, which is totally fine, except for the fact that my house is on a hill. And so it gets pretty frustrating and pretty crazy. And we have to work around trees. And our edger is broken for whatever reason. So that's not working. And so I was like, I can't edge this, but at least I can mow. So I was like probably a third of the way going through across the mowing, and my neighbor offered to send his son or grandson, send Mikkel over to mow our lawn. And he came over with the edger. And so he came over and mowed and cleaned up the front yard. We went through and got all, and made sure there was no rocks, no sticks. We have a big problem with sticks in our yard. We have to go clean them up again because there was a windstorm yesterday, and so our yard is just full of sticks again. But so he came and he mowed and he cleaned up our yard, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And then my son was weirded out because, okay, come on. Oh, that's what it is. I'm like, what's that alarm? It's too early to get my daughter. And it wasn't showing up. Okay. So he hugged my son. My son was freaked out by that. He's like, oh my gosh, he just hugged me. He did it. He was weirded out by it though, because it was just so unlike the situation. They've offered to take him to get sodas. It's like the air is cleared up. We went to a thing Wednesday night at our church, and they're in our church, and like even the mom, the woman in the house, who I didn't think would ever talk to me again. We've had such animosity. Even she sent me a text saying that my son could come over whenever he wanted. She even talked to me at the event. I'm just been blown away by how incredible it is. And all of this just because I had the faith to send them to a court of atonement. Now, if you're weirded out by the word atonement because maybe you don't believe in Jesus Christ, atonement really just means to become one with. So it's just taking two souls are coming to a one agreement. That's what the atonement is about. So you send them to this court, and it doesn't even have to, you don't even have to think like court, like, like there's a judge and jury and all that kind of thing. It's just, you can think of it as, like, I don't know, you can think of it as a king's court. They're coming in to share their disagreements and the king's going to decide. Or you don't even have to look, you can just think of it as a council of atonement. I don't know. But something that will help create that oneness with all the souls involved. And it does take sometimes it takes some time physically, and sometimes changes may not happen. It's okay. But so I did this. I experienced this miraculous change. Like, seriously, so blown away by it. I almost forgot I had done that because other than the 13-year-old, I hadn't seen any results. And now here we are. They came over because that was Monday that they mowed the yard. They told us they'd be over Wednesday to clean up. We are still looking for a garbage day. So Tuesday night, my son and I were cleaning all the rocks and sticks out from our grass in the backyard. The backyard had grass like this tall, so that was hard. So we cleaned that up, and then they came over Wednesday. They mowed and they cleaned up, and our garbage can is full. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to do mulch, which really bugs me. I really wish we did. And we don't have, our city doesn't offer cans that take care of yard clippings and things like that. Another thing I was like, I wish you did. I wish that they would do that and then like take and use them in city landscaping, or that I had a way to do mulching and have a garden. That would be nice to have a garden. Anyway, side notes, side trekking. So, I read that again. He's gonna download me. Anyway, we're excited to let the garbage thing go. They may be helping all summer. I want to find a way to give back to them. I asked them, and I was like, is there anything we can do for you? Because I was just so amazingly touched that they did this. And he's like, just promise that we can get along. And I'm like, no worries on my end. I do my best to get along with everybody. So it's been interesting. And I'm still, if you have any ideas for how maybe I can give back and serve him, or maybe even just pay it forward by serving somebody else, but I'd really like to return some kind of a service or some kind of a gift or some kind of something for what he's done for us. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Seriously, life is really cool, and we have so many resources. I'm just amazed. I'm amazed at knowing that one of the things that's been on my vision board is unconditionally loving my mom. It has been so hard, and putting it up there has brought up a lot of stuff to be healed. But at the same time, I'm very aware that it's the vision board working. The vision board is something because I want it so much that the universe and the God and my higher self and my soul, everything's saying, okay, you really want to love her unconditionally, then you need to take a look at this, and you need to take a look at this. And it's bringing these things up for me to heal on a deeper level. And I very much appreciate that. I appreciate the ease of saying, this is really big, and giving it to a court of atonement and letting the souls work it out. souls and guardian angels and any other angels that need to be supported, and bringing in past souls as well. Like maybe this is something they've inherited. So I just ask that the souls of any souls that are involved or contributing to this be involved, brought in, because maybe it's a childhood wound and they need to bring in the soul of the person involved in that childhood wound and work it out, that they need to work it out there and then bring it forward before we can work it out. And maybe that's why it takes so long sometimes. I don't know. So that was just, I just think it's so cool that you can do something like that. That last night before I went to bed, since I'm feeling so much better, I was able to do my affirmations and declarations, and I was able to set an intention and feel immediate relief about something that I would like to heal deeply while I sleep. The ability to just ask that things be healed and they be healed. 10 years ago, that would have never happened for me. 10 years ago, the vibration of the earth would not have allowed things to be that fast. Healing has become like that for so many people, and it's just incredible as the earth raises in vibration, as the people of the earth raise in vibration, and more people want to be higher vibrating people. They want to love more and experience that. And the more that happens, the easier it becomes, the better our experience is. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I've been on here for a while. I've been yakety. It's because I talked about multiple subjects, I think. Anyway, I hope that you got something out of this. I am so glad you are here. I'm so glad that you are on this planet, that you have found me, and that I hopefully am saying something to inspire you. Remember to let your soul shine big, bright, light, and beautiful. Love the world. Be the best you that you can be. And I will see you guys tomorrow.